Hi, I'm Steve G. Jones, clinical hypnotherapist, and I just finished an interview about using the law of attraction, and we were talking about the book that I co-wrote with Frank Mangano called You Can Attract It. And a lot of interesting things came up in that interview that are fresh on my mind, so I want to share them with you. One of them is the concept of manifesting something out of nothing. And previously, I didn't really think of it that way, except one of the people in the interview, they had a part where people called in, and somebody asked the question, well, how do you manifest something out of nothing? We're talking about manifesting money, having abundance in your life. And the way they looked at it was that they had nothing and they were going to create something out of nothing. And when you think about it that way, it seems to defy the laws of physics, because in physics, they talk about changing matter from energy to something solid, or from a solid to a gas, or what have you. And so we start to think about that when we think about having no money and getting money, and it almost sounds like magic, like a magic trick, like maybe it's not real. So I want to clear up all of the myths about that and to really make it very straightforward how you use the law of attraction to create money in your life and to create abundance. Because when people are in that situation where they don't have much, thinking about having a lot seems very remote to them. It seems like a dream or something that's so far away from them that it's not going to happen. And I understand that. And based on that person's question, I understand it a lot better now. I understand the mindset of coming from nothing and going to something. So let's make all this make sense. It's not a matter of going from having nothing in the universe to having something. It's not as if you're creating something out of nothing. What you're actually doing is attracting things to you, attracting money, attracting friends, attracting love, whatever it is you want to attract. You're attracting it to you. It's already out there. It already exists. It's already part of the world. It's part of the universe. You're just saying, hey, universe, I want more of that. And so it starts to come to you. It's already there. All the money that you want, all the love that you want, all the friends you want, they're already there. All of that already exists. So you're not doing a magic trick where you're creating something out of nothing. You're just reallocating resources, if you will. They're already out there. You're just making them yours. And so when you start to focus on things positively, more starts to come to you. When you really believe that you can have things, things come to you. But it can go the other way too. If you start to think negatively, then negative things can come to you. And I also want you to realize something else that came out in that interview for me, which I had to address, that I didn't realize was a stumbling block for people, but it is. And that is understanding the two different levels on which the law of attraction works. It works on a psychological level and a metaphysical level. Notice I put the metaphysical level higher. Metaphysical level is where all the quote-unquote magic happens, if you will. The unseen forces come into play. And so when you have the metaphysical aspect of it, it can seem a little bit out of your hands or as something that's difficult to measure. Because the metaphysical aspect of it means that you're putting something out there to the universe and it's coming back to you in a multiplied way. In other words, you're thinking, I'm going to have a great day, and a great day comes back to you in a multiplied way. You have a wonderful day. Or you think, I'm going to have some money, and then it comes back to you in a multiplied way. You get a lot of money. But it can also go the other way. You can think, I'm going to have a terrible day, and then you have a really terrible day. Or you can start to think negative thoughts about money and friends and so forth, and suddenly things don't go so well in that regard. But that's on the metaphysical level, which is the higher plane, the spiritual plane. That's a part of the law of attraction. There's also the psychological level, which is much more straightforward, which just means that whatever you focus on, you program into your subconscious mind. That's why I'm a hypnotherapist, because I realize the power of the subconscious mind. If you focus on having a good day, your subconscious mind starts to get programmed and starts to think, well, I'm having a good day, so I'm going to manifest certain things. I'm going to smile at people. I'm going to expect them to smile back at me. I'm going to do positive things today. And because you're of that mindset, you start to act as if things are going well, and what happens? Things start to go well. Well, you can do the same thing with your finances. You start to think that your finances are going well, and suddenly they start going well. because your subconscious mind has the need to make things congruent. It has the need to make things make sense. So if you're telling yourself every day, I'm wealthy, things are going well financially, I have the job I want, I have the career I want, etc., and if that's not actually true in your reality, your subconscious mind is going to find a way to make the two congruent. In other words, to make what you're saying every day equal your reality. So suddenly, not through any type of magic or anything, suddenly you start acting on those opportunities that present themselves anyway. The opportunity to have the job you want, to have the career you want, to accept money into your life. You start acting on them because you've programmed yourself, like a computer, you've programmed yourself to go for it. Your mind wants to make the two the same. What you say and your reality wants to make them the same. So that's the very basic psychological reasoning behind why the law of attraction works. And then there's the metaphysical reasoning, which is you putting it out there into the universe and it multiplying and coming back to you. A little bit more difficult to measure when we talk about the metaphysical component of the law of attraction, but both are there. So you can read more about this in the book that I co-wrote with Frank Mangano called You Can Attract It. And also you can learn more about hypnosis at my website, which I've developed for you, which has a lot of information and over 4,000 hypnosis recordings that you can access. Check it out. It's stevegjones.com. I'm Steve G. Jones, clinical hypnotherapist, hoping you have an outstanding day.